What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune into the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on some comments that Kobe Bryant made about LeBron James, and I think it was Kevin Durant too. That was included in those comments, right? And so now this not my first time even speaking on this subject about the way that Kevin Durant and LeBron James have moved around from team to team throughout their career. But what LeBron James he never really thought about, or he never really cared about, is that, like, things are set up and done for a reason, right? And so when you come along and you try to do things and go against the grain, is very you it's almost like, number one, trying to reinvent the wheel. Number two, you better be sure that you making the right moves, when you do something different and you try to take a different path. And I think that LeBron James taking a path that he took, as far as like from moving from team to team, trying to win a championship with teaming up with all the best players, it just wasn't a good look, right? And I don't even think, like, the people that was in LeBron James' corner, I don't think that they did him a disservice when they didn't, advise him on making these kind of moves, right? They not just Rich Paul and what's the other guy, Maverick Carter, but I'm thinking, like, people with more life experience than those guys, right? Because you talking about Rich Paul and Maverick Carter and Randy Mims, all those guys were young. LeBron James, he was young, he was a teenager. But when you set LeBron James up with somebody who is what's the guy name? Adam Mendelhoff, right? And guys men who have more life experience and who can tell LeBron James that, don't do things this way, because this the long-term effects is not really gonna this is not gonna age well, basically, right? But he didn't have that type of leadership around him. As a matter of fact, he had the type of leadership around him that made him think that he could do no wrongs, and any decision that he made was right. And so, but with Kobe Bryant, and I spoke about this, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, let me see, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, like, they were cut from a different cloth. They understood that there was no free lunches, right? And so, and for every action there's a reaction. And so certain things they didn't do, and that's not to say that none of those men were perfect, right? But they understood that for the most part, there are rules and things are done a certain way. And so, with that being said, I'm going to go to what Kobe Bryant said about LeBron James, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to add my input.
Take a look at the video here.
If you're doing something that's so easy, man, you might want to reconsider what you're doing. Like I can't, Durant's been a friend of mine for a very, very long time. So is LeBron and all those guys. Would I make the same decision? No. But that's their decision. That's their choice. The Lakers, I've been a Laker fan since 5 years old, man. I know the Laker history all the way from Minneapolis all the way to where it is today. Right? So it's in my blood. I'm not gonna go anywhere. Like, this is home to me. We work through this stuff together, and, like, as a leader, you gotta be able to take the good with the bad, man. You can't just, because the ship's sinking, all of a sudden I'm gonna jump off and swim to another ship like that. You don't do that, right? If you can win championships in front of everybody, then you can miss the playoffs in front of everybody. You gotta be able to take both sides of it.
People have to do what's right for them. You know what I mean?
All right. So you heard what Kobe Bryant said, right? But before I get into what Kobe Bryant said, at the end, the commentator said people have to do what's right for them. And so everybody in life find out that that's where the narcissism come in, right? People got to do in life what's right for them, and that's not true. That's the statement is just false. You don't always get to do what's right for you. In some countries, it's you don't even get to choose what career you have. Like, your career is chosen for you. And so, but you got to make the best of the situations. Now, fortunately, it's not like that here where we live at. But my point is you don't always get to do what's right for you. Things are done a certain way for a reason, right? And so for for LeBron James and Kevin Durant to break away from tradition and try to team hop from team to team, they thought that I don't know if they thought they were trailblazing a new path or what, but uh, in most cases, you don't even find out that the decision that you made years ago is going to have repercussions later down the line, right? And by that, I think uh Kevin Durant, for all the accolades that he had and all the records that he broke during his career, he's gonna realize once his career over with that he made a big mistake in moving around from team to team. Same thing with LeBron James. And so how will that prove to be, a mistake? And I think the biggest one of the reasons for LeBron James is your fan base is fractured. You don't have a forever home. You don't have a fan base where you can go back to and you can tap into that fan base and get that love and support that un like is un the love and support that you get from your fan base, man, is just unconditional, right? Because you have weathered the storms with that fan base. And like I said, when I speak about Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, all those guys, Isaiah Thomas, they have a fan base with it. These people love them unconditionally, right? And LeBron James don't have that. And so when you don't have that after retirement, that that erodes and it take away from the amount of leverage that you have. And so let me say this. I use as an example, like Chris Paul. The way that the team treated Chris Paul, like when he was in with the Clippers, firing him on the road at night, when they were playing for an away team. Now, Chris Paul, yeah, Chris Paul played for a lot of teams throughout his career. Now, you couldn't do that to Kobe Bryant, like at the end of his career, no matter how you felt about Kobe Bryant, or just say not even Kobe Bryant, say like Steph Curry. Because Steph Curry spent his whole career with the Golden State Warriors. If you're part of ownership and management of a team, you have to be aware of how you treat Steph Curry because of the ramifications and like what what that'll do to the fan base. You really have to reconsider that, right? You wouldn't be able to fire Steph Curry the same way you did Chris Paul on the road at nighttime, because the fan base will be outraged. And when you outrage the fan base, they show you through through their like they'll boycott, or maybe they may even like may not even attend games, or you just alienate them. And you don't want to alienate your fan base, especially if it's not necessary, especially if you had somebody that has been with your team for years and y'all won championships together and stuff like that. But Chris Paul wasn't in that position because Chris Paul played for LA, the Clippers, he played for Phoenix, he played for OKC, he played for Houston. What else did he play for? Charlotte, and so a great basketball player, but with no leverage, right? No home base. He had fans, but the fans don't have the type of passion for him like the fans in Golden State have for Steph Curry. You know what I mean? So you have two great players, but the fan base will react totally different for both of those players. And if you don't show loyalty to a fan base and endear yourself to a certain community or a specific community, then you can't expect to get that love back on the back end. And so when Kobe Bryant said, "Man, I was never going anywhere. I didn't want, if the ship was sinking, I'm going down with the ship." The guys who hop ship and jump ship they're going to realize what what the ramifications are from doing something like that. And so when LeBron James, man, never really liked Kobe because Kobe represented something that LeBron James, like something that LeBron James never wanted to be. And that's somebody who was who had that passion for the sport and was dedicated and was willing to fight his way through certain situations. LeBron James wasn't built like that. LeBron James didn't want to do the things that Kobe did, Magic and Bird and all those guys did, man. LeBron James wanted to take the easy road. But the thing is, you take the easy road now, then you'll pay a higher price at the end. Let me give you another example. It's like if you eat healthy now, like eating healthy is expensive, right? But if you eat a bunch of junk food now, inexpensive food, then you're going to pay a higher price at the end with medical bills and all that things like that, right? So, it's you better off to just take care, do the right thing early in life, and then later on in life, then you'll thank yourself. And so LeBron James, I think, is in a position right now where he not going to be able to thank himself. He basically going to be kicking himself, right? And so that's my take on it. um, you know, Kobe he foresaw what LeBron James was going to go through, just like a lot of other people. You don't have to be a professional basketball player to know about life lessons and things like that. And so LeBron, that's why LeBron never liked Kobe, man, because Kobe represented what was real and what was right, whereas though LeBron just wanted to take shortcuts, man, and just do what was right, what was easy. So, like I said, that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.